Hey there, this is Natalie, back with more of the best stories from Reddit. Please give this video a like and gently caress the subscribe button if you enjoy these videos, and I'll keep them coming for you every day. Here's a story with a 1-year update, which was originally posted to r/offmychest and also to r/datingadvice. The OP is user cat owner victim, and the title is, "My husband wants everyone to know I'm not pure." So I'm sure we're in for a good one here. She begins, "It's exactly what the title says. I've been with my fiancé of 6 years and engaged for the past 8 months. I've been doing most of the wedding planning, but my fiancé, let's just call him Ryan, will give his input here and there. So, about a month ago, Ryan out of nowhere said he was talking to some of his co-workers and thinks that I shouldn't wear a white dress. This was totally weird to me. Ryan is a very artistic guy, so I figured this was more about how the photos would turn out or something along those lines, but I'm set on wearing white. I told him this, and I could see that he was annoyed, but he let it go. 2 weeks ago, I finally picked and paid for my dress, and this caused a huge argument. Ryan again came to me very annoyed. He asked to see the dress I picked, but I said no because I wanted it to be a surprise for our wedding day. He asked me to at least tell him what colour it was, and when I said white, he threw a fit. I honestly do not see why this was a big deal. Almost everyone wears white on their wedding day. I asked him what colour he thought I'd be wearing. He told me I should wear red. Again, this was super weird to me. I asked him why I would wear red to our wedding, and he told me that brides only wear white when they are pure. For some background, Ryan and I started dating when I was 21, and he just turned 20. He was a virgin when we met, and I only had one other person, who was my ex-boyfriend of 4 years, throughout high school. This caused a lot of problems. The first year of our relationship, and we almost did not continue dating because of how insecure he felt. After that first year, it was never a problem again, until now, I guess. He went to his mom about all of this, thinking she would convince me, but she's on my side. So 2 nights ago, Ryan, his mom and I stood in our living room and argued about my sex life being shown in a dress. My mum stated that he's no longer a virgin either, so maybe he should wear red too, and he burst out crying. Ryan is still stating that me wearing white would be deceiving all of the guests, and that it's different for guys. This all has honestly made me question even marrying this man. I don't know if it's just because everything is so fresh, but I'm really disgusted by him. He's not even religious, so I know this is all about him still just thinking about me losing my virginity at 18 before I even knew him. I just needed to rant to anyone about how psycho this is. Yeah, this is really weird. Like, I would get it if he was from a culture where red was the traditional colour for weddings, which I think it is in some places like India, and he was just saying wear red because that's traditional. But from the sounds of it, they're clearly from a culture where brides traditionally wear white, and she's just picked a normal white wedding dress. And he's just harping on about a relationship she had before she even met him, as if that has to be like symbolised to all of her guests through her choice of wedding dress. Like, people wouldn't even know if she did wear a different colour, if she did wear red. They would think that that was just a choice that she'd made for style reasons. They wouldn't be thinking, oh, she wasn't a virgin on her wedding day, because most people don't expect that a bride is a virgin on their wedding day anymore, outside of some, extremely religious people and people who've been watching maybe a little bit too much black pill content on the internet. I mean, there are people with kids who wear white to their weddings. It's definitely not about what he's saying. It's absolutely not about deceiving the guests or anything to do with tradition. I think he's just been revisited by the insecurity that he clearly had at the start of their relationship because, she was his first, but he wasn't hers. And some guys just really don't seem to be able to get over the idea that, their partner who loves them and wants to marry them isn't constantly comparing them to some guy she knew in high school. Still, let's see what the comments say before we get to the updates. Greycat17 says, look, if he's this insecure after 6 years together, things are not going to improve. Is he going to mention your impurity in his wedding speech? Is he going to try to leverage this in your marriage to get what he wants? Is he going to demand paternity tests for your children? I'd seriously consider what you're signing up for. Dude sounds messed up AF. Luthwala says, oh, I hadn't considered how this would spiral to paternity tests. And then, if they had daughters, oof. Inevitable Okra 3229 says, Jesus, throw the whole man in the bin. For 6 years he's been planning on getting back at you for not being a virgin at your wedding. I'm petty AF and would just stop having sex with him. When he asks why, I would say since he finds your sexual history so disgusting, he is now part of the history, while you tell him to pack his stuff and go find a virgin at 26. Business Artichoke 53. Lol, go find a virgin at 26. Love this. And then there is an update from 14 days later. She says, I'm in my late 20s and just broke off an engagement. This is going to be my first date in many, many years. We're going to a nice waterfront seafood restaurant in North Carolina. It's a beach, but also November, so I've no idea what would be appropriate. And in the comments, HSKRFOOS says, a nice form-fitting red dress. And OP replies, the only relationship I'm currently in is with my career, and I couldn't be happier with that. Surprisingly, he is engaged currently, and honestly, I wish him luck. And then we get the full 1 year update that I promised at the start of this story. OP says, this is my update 1 year later on from the whole situation. I will start by saying I did not get married. Ryan made that decision quite easy for me. I remember reading one comment that said I had already been done with the relationship for me to move on so fast. That statement was very true. As much as I want to be the bigger person and not slander Ryan, he deserves it. I won't get into all of our issues, but there are some big ones that I would like to address. The absolute deal breaker for me had nothing to do with the red dress, but instead was all of his little lies that built up through our entire relationship. Ryan is very smart. I can't take that away from him. We actually met because even though I'm a year older than him, he graduated a year before me. We had mutual classes. For someone so smart, he always got caught in dumb lies. As far as I know, he never cheated on me. That was something that I know a lot of people assumed, but even now I don't believe it. There was never any big lie that caused massive drama, but rather a mountain of little white lies that always made me question why. He would lie to people about having allergies. He would lie about stopping for food before coming home. He would lie about losing weight. He is a healthy weight with a very normal build. He would just lie about so many things that did not matter. My issue with this is I had absolutely no trust in the man over literally nothing. I never held him back from doing things, and he never asked permission to do things. So him going out of his way to lie about meaningless things really made me start to resent him. I do not think he ever talked to his co-workers about the dress. I think that was another lie. After telling him that I didn't want to be together anymore, I asked him about everything that happened surrounding the wedding. I got no real answers out of him. Until this day, I have no real closure. My best assumption is that he got sucked into misogynist forums surrounding purity and made up a story to bring it up to me. Our breakup was pretty nasty, since he talked about me a lot online. For the most part, I had support. No one ever reached out to me or threatened me, but it's still annoying having my feed filled with rumours I cheated and broke up our engagement over nothing. There was a lot of name-calling as well. Apparently, I'm ran through, I'm fat, I let myself go, I look miserable without him. Eventually he stopped on his own, as I never acknowledged any of it. Even with the online harassment, he never really fought to save our engagement. I was actually hurt by how he seemed equally as ready to part ways. We have no contact with each other at all, but I do know that last month he actually got engaged again. All I know about the girl is that she's 23, a hardcore Catholic, and actually looks very sweet. For her sake, I hope they work out. I do not still talk to Ryan's mom. Sorry to disappoint. She was very kind to me through everything, but for me to continue talking to her would be a bit weird. I still got a happy birthday text and a Merry Christmas. I did have a date 2 weeks after I called off my engagement. That didn't go anywhere, and it was never meant to. For me, the date was just to see if I felt any guilt for moving on, which I had none. I had a huge career shift 2 months ago, and I'm now living in Philadelphia, far away from all the drama. I'm happy with where I'm at, and he seems happy with his life. I don't think I'll ever have to interact with him again. I'm sorry for waiting so long to update. There was just never really a right moment. There are also probably many grammatical errors, but whatever. If anyone is interested, I do have pictures of the dress. And in the comments, OK Detective 5412 says, Ryan is emotionally unwell. I'm sad for his new fiancé. I'm sorry this happened to you. You deserved better. Teal Paradise says, yeah, I guarantee someone like him is not happy. That need to dominate is deeply rooted in insecurity, and finding a virgin partner can't fix his feelings of inadequacy. It's all internal. Well, I think that one ended pretty much how it was always going to end. And it's good that she was able to move on without too much emotional struggle. The stuff about him just lying for no good reason, that is a kind of thing that some people do. There are some people who just enjoy lying for some reason. It's like a pathological thing, where they'll lie even if it actually would have a negative effect on them, rather than lying to benefit themselves, just because they really enjoy kind of coming up with a lie and, having people believe them. I think those people would be better off, becoming an actor by profession, or maybe more realistically just joining a D&D group if they want to make up fantasies and convince other people of them in a setting where it doesn't actually just make them seem like the least trustworthy, least likeable people to be around. There's got to be healthier ways to use your creativity than just lying about what you had to eat that day or any other nonsense for no good reason. But what do you guys think about this situation? Let me know down in the comments. Now, here's an interesting situation for someone to find themselves in. This story was posted to r/trueoffmychest by user Pasanque Cosas. And it's entitled, The Guy I Did Homework For in High School Reached Out and Now Wants to Buy Me a House. And I'm reading this one live, so we'll see what happens. OP begins. I've, 29 female, always been good with numbers and responsible. It was more noticeable in school because no one gave a frick. But given that I have CP, cerebral palsy, and walk with crutches, and being a nerd, you can imagine I was an extremely easy target for bullying. One year they mixed us, so I had new classmates. The bullying was worse, but then one of the popular guys would defend me. At first I was confused, but when I saw that he would leave me his notebooks, I understood. And so began our symbiotic relationship. The bullying stopped, and I would make his homework every day. We never talked about it, and whenever he spoke to me, he sounded angry. It was like that for almost 3 years, and his grades went up. I was just grateful I could be at peace in school. We graduated and never spoke again, nor did I see him again. But then, a week ago, he reached out on Instagram. He told me how good life had been for him, and he offered to buy me a house and a car. At first, I thought it was a scam, but we made video calls. He showed me things, and it's legit. Long story short, he's a successful businessman worth millions, living abroad. He said he always remembered me because I helped him get where he is now. He said he wanted to repay me because he knew how hard it is to be disabled and a woman, in my country specifically. He's not wrong, but I'm actually doing okay right now, so I declined all his offers. But then I received a call from a medical centre, the most expensive where I live, mind you, saying I had 3 years of physical therapy paid for. How he knew I did physical therapy, I don't know. I still thought it was a joke, so I went there, and it was true. I already did my first 2 sessions, and my body feels so much better. I'm still, many question marks, because I saw our relationship as purely transactional, and now he comes and says he owes me. I'm so confused. Edit 1. Damn, I wasn't expecting this many replies. Thank you all for your kind words. It made me understand a little how he may feel. I already texted him so we can talk a little bit more about his offers, because even though I turned them down, he said they'd still be up, and hopefully I can have a hand on the wheel to choose some less crazy expensive options. Thank you again. I feel less guilty now. Edit 2. Thank you for all your kind words. I'm trying to read all the comments. And as for the creeps in my DMs, frick off. I'm not some kind of freak show only because I have cerebral palsy. And it was in the relevant comments that Few Stories Sokto says, "That's a nice gesture. You should take it and be thankful. Don't turn down on somebody who's trying to be kind, seemingly not with ill intent." OP says, "It's an amazing gesture, but I don't really feel like I did something worthy of such gratitude." DataMe206B says, "Only he knows how impactful your homework was on his life, even beyond grades. Glad their physical therapy is helping already. I hope he extends it." OP says, "I mean, I guess you could say we both impacted each other. It was thanks to him that the bullying stopped and school was nice again, but I never stopped to think about how that impacted my life for the better. It's only now I realise how grateful I am for what he did. I'm so embarrassed it took this long to register." Nate Quarry says, "I had a friend offer to do something nice for me and I declined. His response changed my point of view forever. He said, 'You don't get to decide whether or not I get to do things for people that make me happy.' And I realised it wasn't just for me. It made him happy and feel like he's making the world a better place." OP says, "Thanks for that quote. It's very much true, I guess. I just have a hard time accepting gifts." And then there is an update, where OP says, "Given all the support and kindness I received on the other post, I'd like to let you guys know the resolution. We did another video call where I explained to him why I was hesitant to accept and told him all my doubts and fears about the whole ordeal. I was completely honest, which surprised me to be honest. He also opened up to me and told me some sensitive stuff, which I would have never imagined. At the end, we agreed that he would finish paying the car I just started paying through a credit. Also, we found a nice apartment in a good zone where I could be more comfortable. I have my own lawyer doing all the paperwork. Thanks all the kind people for the suggestion. I tried to express all my gratitude, and I hope he really understood how big this was for me. Also, I got to thank him for protecting me in school and tried to make him see how big of an impact it had on my life. I feel like this closed a chapter in my life, and I think it's the same for him. I don't think we'll ever talk again, nor do I think we're friends. He truly lives in another world, and our realities are not compatible. He did say, though, if I ever go to his country, not the US, LOL, I should call him to meet. I don't know if I would. At the end, I'm just happy to see him so accomplished after all that happened in high school, and I'm happy I could express all my feelings and thoughts. Thank you all for your supportive words. They meant a lot to me and helped me make a decision." Well, that was nice and wholesome, but I think I've probably written too many romance novels to have not been expecting that to go a completely different way, and for them to end up together. The fact that she's not really even interested in, being friends with him or talking to him anymore seemed kind of weird to me, but, I'm more of an extroverted type of person, I guess. I sort of think if somebody goes to any effort to make contact with me, let alone do something that nice for me, I definitely consider them a friend, not, someone getting closure for something and then just never wanting to talk again. But what do you guys think? Is there somebody from your younger days that you would like to thank in some way if you could? And what would your response be if someone contacted you out of the blue like this and offered to buy you a house and a car for something you did without really thinking you were particularly doing them a favour at the time? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for listening to these stories. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more. And please let me know what you think of this video's stories down below.